My name is Patrick Hickey Jr., the Macho Man. I'm the voice actor in WrestleQuest. Can you dig it?
I'm Zach with the Silk Express and the writer of WrestleQuest.
I'm James from MegaCat. I'm just a big fan of wrestling, and they invited me to the show.
Nice. So WrestleQuest, we've seen it a few times here at Shacknews. What are you guys doing here at PAX? What's new? What are you showing off?
So WrestleQuest is the world's first pro wrestling RPG. We got a bunch of legendary wrestlers in the game, including Macho Man Randy Savage,
Oh, yeah!
Sergeant Slaughter, Jake the Snake, and even the fabulous Jeff Jarrett.
Did he say Jeff Jarrett? Did he say Jeff Jarrett?
I think you just said Jeff
I
Jarrett.
think I'm the only one alive. No, I'm not. Jake's alive. No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, here at PAX, we're showing off some of the new content from later in the game. We're showing off a character called the Luchador. He's a Lucha Libre champion, and he's about to retire, but he's unsure if he wants to or not because he's going to have to pass the belt over to this total dirtbag. So he's not sure if he can do that to give the championship of this promotion that he's helped build and create over years and years and years of work. But he's excited to retire because he wants to spend some time with his family, with his wife and kids.
Happy wife, happy life. Oh, yeah! Can you dig it?
So he's unsure of what he's going to do, and his wife asks him, what's your decision? He goes, I don't know. And at that point, his wife says, you know what, you have a mistress, and it's that wrestling ring because you're with her every night instead of me. So it's definitely this high point, kind of climactic, dramatic moment. And the reason we have a story like this is because we want to celebrate wrestling, but we also wanted to showcase everything that goes in, all the sacrifice that these guys make to be on the road 360 days a year, and the pain and torment their bodies go through. We wanted to be authentic with how we represent the wrestlers in wrestling in our game.
I think what's also here, it's really interesting set of mechanics for the dungeon the Luchador represented in.
Yeah.
Right, so Luchador has the coolest dungeon in the game where he's picking up a series of ropes, and those ropes allow him to access different regions to solve puzzles and then continue to accomplish his to not be spoiled Loach-based quest.
Yeah, each color of rope allowed you to springboard off some turnbuckles further and further to get deeper into the dungeon and accomplish more things.
Nice. One of the things, that really intrigues me is just the idea of a wrestling RPG game to begin with, because forever it's just all about getting in the ring and throwing down. Like, this adds like a new level of strategy to it, and almost, you really gotta think a little bit more before you react.
Yeah, so when we were conceptualizing the game, we realized the foundation of both RPGs and wrestling is storytelling. RPGs are obviously about characters and plot lines, but the same is true of wrestling. It's not just about people throwing each other around the ring. It's about
Baby oil.
Larger-than-life personalities, the baby oil.
Yeah!
That's right. The betrayals, the dramatic reveals. So they actually mesh together very well. And what we did is we took that classic JRPG formula and just updated it and tweaked it by adding some wrestling elements. So, in a lot of RPGs, after a while, you can just kind of go on autopilot and spam the attack button. In WrestleQuest, that won't fly because we have added things like time button presses for attacks. Enemies can bounce off the ropes after you hit them and then follow up, and you have to make a secondary attack or they'll clothesline you. Most importantly, there's a hype meter, which is an indicator of the audience's engagement with the fight. So if you come in and just keep hitting attack, they'll get bored. When that happens, your enemies get stronger. But if you approach combat with a little bit more showmanship and creativity, you'll be able to fill it up for you, and then you'll get stronger. You get better abilities, more damage, and even better loot after the battle. So it's all about putting on a good show and entertaining that audience.
And becoming the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah!
All right, so I got a question for you, man. How many Slim Jims did you have to snap to get into character?
None. I've been doing this voice since 1996, so this is just second nature for me. I've almost got divorced because of this voice.
This is just natural, brother. Just press a button and it comes right on. Oh, yeah!
Nice.
That's actually a really interesting analog that a lot of times folks have asked us why we're making WrestleQuest and what inspired WrestleQuest. It's really just everything we love. It's wrestling and it's classic JRPGs. And this is why we started MegaCat in the first place. It just took us 6 years to get here.
Absolutely. I feel like the longer you play this game, you're going to feel like the dodges and homages to so many great RPGs, to so many great wrestling storylines. There's just literally something here for every RPG fan and every wrestling fan.
Awesome. And you guys are working with a real cavalcade of talent as well. You've got some real icons of wrestling involved in that.
Did you say complicated talent? That's complicated right there. Almost get a divorce over a guy's voice. No. But to echo what they said, story, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of matches. And I don't want to say they're meaningless, but it's all about the authenticity of the story. You can have championship matches, but if the story's not there, and that's what the game is all about. The real personalities coming out that you can play and feel through.
Nice. Is that what appealed to you about working with the WrestleQuest crew?
You know what appealed to me is when one of the first calls I got, I said, so who do you have lined up? Randy Macho Man Savage worked for my father years ago. He's one of my all-time favorites. And so I went through the list of the Road Warriors and Jake the Snake and Coco Beware and just all the talent that went through it. There had so much meat on the bone, but that was really just the first layer of the onion. Once you dig deep into it and hear about the stories and just the in-depth storytelling of it, that's the true essence of what our industry is storytelling. So they married the two. I just could not be happier to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's another thing that I really love about wrestling fandom in general is the fans have a real reverence and appreciation for the history and the folks wrestling, and it seems like that's really coming across with WrestleQuest, and I think that's what's appealing to a lot of people that were just kind of instant fans.
Yeah, and that's true of us. We're wrestling fans first and foremost, and this is definitely our love letter to both that classic era of wrestling and that classic era of RPGs that we grew up with.
Just adding that kind of funny note is we had about a dozen publishers say no to WrestleQuest because they didn't think there was a good fit between wrestling storytelling and RPG storytelling. And generally we'd have games that get, maybe 40, 50 articles to pick up, and our super fans carry the products through. WrestleQuest had like hundreds of articles from people that are just deeply excited about what WrestleQuest is because they're the same fans we are.
Yeah, no, that definitely comes across. And then what's it like being at PAX for you guys and like getting a chance to interact with that fan base and like seeing them engage with your game?
Should we tell them about all the baby oil stains and the sweaty robes?
Yeah, our chair budget is through the roof with all the chair shots that we've done.
People just coming through and smashing them over each other's heads?
Yeah, throwing people through tables and whatnot. No, it's been a blast. We love doing live events because it's great to make something, but then to see people react to it and see their reactions and how much they get into it and hyped about it. It's the best feeling in the world. I say it's like akin to like playing live. You're a band playing live and feeding off the audience. This is our version of that.
Hell yeah.
Right before you came over, we were just talking about this. So my favorite thing that happened at PAX was one of the press folks we'd reach out to sent us a follow-up email to say he discovered wrestling through WrestleQuest. So he watched the Sizzle trailer, did the announcement. He met us at PAX East. And then he asked us what our recommendations were to get into wrestling. And he actually followed through with it. Yeah. And now he's a wrestling fan. It's like that's more important to me than anything else. It's so great. It's like sharing these things we love with people that we knew would love them.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. All right. I got one more request. Let's say you guys are getting ready for a match here. Or you're getting ready for WrestleQuest to launch. Can we get the pre-match promo for WrestleQuest?
I'm going to be soaking and milking all over the world, robing all over the globe, and to take WrestleQuest is going to win that heavyweight JRPG championship. Just you watch.
When I think of other wrestling games, I think of them being on balance, off balance. It doesn't matter because we're better than you are. Ooh, yeah. Can you dig it?
You guys are coming for the N64 era wrestling games?
Coming.
Oh yeah. No one's safe. No era. No wrestler.
No genre. We're going wrestling all over.
That's it.
It's only wrestling.
All over. See these eyes? Looking into the candle of the future, baby. Ooh, yeah.
So we got the wrestling dance rhythm game coming next from you guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah. WrestleFication is a service we offer.
Absolutely. We got Disco Inferno's theme song all cheered up. We're gonna dance all night long, baby. Yeah.
All right. Well, sweet. When are we gonna get a chance to play some more WrestleQuest?
So we plan to launch early next year, but you can check us out at PAX if you're here. And our next event will be in Tokyo.
WrestleQuest.com, Silk and Milk Express will be there. Reach out, say hello. We'd love to tell you more.
All right, awesome. Sounds great. Guys, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Ooh, yeah.